not easy. It's not easy because I think that obviously profit and economical constraints are important and have been always important and will be. Then environmental constraints or sustainability becomes also more and more important. You see that the people in the market, let's say, more and more choose for green technologies. You see the electrical vehicles, solar panels, everybody is. But at the same time, it's a very changing environment still. So that's very challenging, I think. Also from a human resources point of view, after COVID, everybody is more focused on flexibility, remote work, human-centric. So there are a lot of changes going on, and I think the sustainability, both for human resources or human capital, environmental sustainability and economical sustainability, we have to find a balance because we need all three of them. It's not we choose one and we can forget the other two, or no, we have to focus on all three of them, I think, and find a balance between them.
Ensuring sustainable manufacturing has economic, social, and environmental aspects. Sustainable manufacturing, from the point of view of people, it means today, how do I manage my personnel that is related to several generations? The older generation that takes into account that an activity is done when it's done, that is prepared to work over hours because it feels responsibility towards the tasks in the company. Then you have the younger generation that is very much aware of work-life balance, that is very much aware of the deficiencies of the labor market and the problem with access to specialist workforce, and that has its requirements towards the employer. So on the work floor, you have different generations with different considerations and expectations, with different indicators for being motivated, and also with a different kind of flexibility towards the job, leaving the job suddenly, often. So what we see in terms of sustainability, it means for the company to make sure that the processes keep on running even when part of employees leave the job. The second issue with the older population in the companies is how to make sure that the main competences of the company that are not codified in systems, procedures, and processes, but which are in people, the so-called tacit knowledge, that this is transferred to the younger generation. And this is also, in terms of sustainability, an important part in mentoring, in coaching, in setting up internal training programs. This is also an issue which is not really understood in companies as a major point, because so much is changing, and one can say that the older generation has the older knowledge, and now we are in a situation where we need new technologies, new knowledge, so it's not necessary to do this transfer. But anyway, some things cannot be done by machines, and you need this knowledge which is really built during several tens of years by the older population, by the older generation in the company. When we talk about environmental sustainability in terms of sustainable manufacturing, we look at the so-called cost of maintaining quality. So the aspects of ensuring low scrap, energy use, low emission. We look at issues of logistics, transport. For small and medium-sized companies, the aspect of sustainability in environmental terms can become a challenge because in several regions and countries, suppliers, small and medium-sized enterprises working as suppliers to larger companies, were situated in that region, were competitive, price competitive, but due to the new requirements concerning emissions, they are often too far away from the main manufacturing centers. So logistics is going to be a major issue for them in terms of emission. And several legislations can result in a transfer of production from, let's say, far away to closer by. And as such, companies have to take this into account. Sustainability in terms of carbon footprint, in terms of eco-design of their products will be important. In terms of applying recyclates in components, this will lead to increased R&D activities in companies in order to comply with legal requirements, but also with the expectations from society. And the question today is, okay, what kind of risk am I willing to take as a company to comply with environmental sustainability, to make sure that my products still fit with standards and norms in my branch, and that they comply with the requirements of my clients. And the question is, do companies have enough money to take this step? Because it's a technological step. It requires new research, new analysis, new certifications for products, product recipes, and so on. And then we have the technological part of the sustainable manufacturing, where due to new technologies in automation, in robotics, in 3D printing, in big data management, we can first change the processes in our company, improve processes cost efficiency, but also get better data and improve data management, which also has an impact again on the social factor, because when we have data and can manage this data, can take decisions based upon processed data into information and knowledge. The question is, who will take these decisions? Will there be a feedback of information to the directors, to the team leaders, also to the operators, to the workers on the shop floor? And as such, what about employee empowerment and responsibility? So thinking about sustainability is thinking about resilience and the possibility of the company to react to several changes in our environment. Changes which have a geopolitical aspect, an economic aspect, a technological aspect, an environmental aspect, and a social aspect. And these changes, sooner or later, will have an impact. If there will be an enlarged conflict in the Middle East and we will pay 5-6 euro for a liter of gasoline, then this will have an impact. The question is, will it impact on my factory? No, because, for instance, I'm totally dependent on my green energy, which I have from my photovoltaics and from my wind energy. So no problem, I'm safe. But on the other hand, when we use certain components or materials coming from abroad, and suddenly certain commercial routes, for instance, what we've seen in certain areas, sea routes, are being disturbed, so it has an impact. There are several changes in our surroundings, and we have to be prepared for them. The only question is, do we have the money for it? Several companies are still fighting for their financial sustainability after COVID, and also due to the invasion of Russia into Ukraine, which also led to certain supply chains to be disrupted. As such, we have to verify if the current structure of small and medium-sized enterprises in Europe allows for sustainable manufacturing, because the companies we are competing with are larger companies from abroad, are companies that are more cost efficient or just receive subsidies from their states, unfortunately. But in certain conditions, this means that our small and medium-sized companies have to consolidate in the next 3-4 years to create better organized structures, or we have to create new business models where certain activities can be joined, combined, or shared, like industrial sharing platforms, in order to diminish costs, cost optimization, resource optimization, and creating the sustainability. Taking a look at improvement of sustainability of manufacturing processes over a longer period of time in Europe, we have to go through the total business model of the companies, and we should not only look at sustainability from the current business model and the current size and activities of that company.